Cory Booker, the Democratic senator from New Jersey, who was on this show just weeks ago, delivered the longest Senate speech in American history, ending yesterday, 25 hours and 6 minutes long. Not a typo. And this broke former Senator Strom Thurmond's record, which was, by the way, trying to stop the Civil Rights Act. So significant symbolism here in that Cory Booker, a senator of color, breaking the previous record for the longest speech on the Senate floor held by a guy trying to stop the Civil Rights Act. So symbolically, this is a much better use of time. Here is the moment that Chuck Schumer tells Cory Booker that he broke the record.
John?
Would the senator yield for a question?
Chuck Schumer, it's the only time in my life I can tell you no.
I just want to tell you a question. Do you know you have just broken the record? Do you know how proud this caucus is of you? Do you know how proud America is of you?
And then here is the moment that Cory Booker, after 25 hours and 6 minutes, finally yields the floor back.
Let's get back to the ideals that others are threatening. Let's get back to our founding documents, that those imperfect geniuses had some very special words at the end of the Declaration of Independence. It was one of the greatest in all of humanity declarations of interdependence. When our founders said we must mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. We need that now from all Americans. This is a moral moment. It's not left or right, it's right or wrong. Let's get in good trouble. My friend, Madam President, I yield the floor.
All right, now, the context here. Cory Booker was not trying to stop a specific bill. He was protesting. He was specifically protesting Donald Trump's second term, Elon Musk's bizarre Doge, the attacks on education, people being snatched on the streets with no due process, the lawlessness of the current administration. He stood and spoke, reading letters from constituents and citing bipartisan sources, even apologizing for Democratic failures that helped enable this entire thing. Now, there are those who are calling this merely performative. I got many emails. My audience is divided. Was this useful activism, or was this merely performative? My view on this is that, if we're honest, of course it's a performance, but that doesn't mean that it's meaningless. I'll explain kind of my takeaway here. This is about visibility. This is about saying someone is still fighting. Now, of course, nobody got health care who didn't have it because Cory Booker spoke for 25 hours and 6 minutes. Not a single person was lifted out of poverty because Cory Booker stood there for more than a day and spoke. That's all true. But the point here is that it is visibility about the need to do something and to bring people into the fold. The number of streams, the audience started small on Monday night and it built and it built and it built. And I couldn't even tell you the total number of people that were watching the stream of this towards the end, because you've got to look at all platforms. Independent media was rebroadcasting it. Corporate media, is it in the millions? I couldn't even tell you what the number was, but these are insane numbers. And it is a spectacle. But the point of a spectacle in this case is to wake people up. And the spectacle garnered a massive audience. And Booker's speech said, let's not wait. Let's start doing stuff right now. Is it going to stop Trump by itself? Of course it's not. The speech wasn't meant to stop Trump, but it was meant to inspire. And a lot of the stuff, I've been critical, so much of the stuff that Democrats have done, it hasn't really inspired anybody. In fact, it's been a turnoff to many voters, and Democratic approval is in the toilet. We, have been speaking about that with a number of elected officials recently. But to the extent that it was indeed a performance, meant to inspire and bring people in and make them aware of what's going on. It succeeded, and you've got to give Senator Booker credit for that. So we're going to try to have him back on the show and then say, my question will be, now what? Now that you've done this, now that a bunch of people that weren't paying attention paid attention, now what do you do? Because we do need to get people health care. We do need to get people out of poverty. We do have to deal with what's going on with education and all of these things that he talked about. So it was performative, and it was quite a performance, but I think writing it off as merely performative would be very wrong. I want to thank everybody who made my book, The Echo Machine, made it make the top 10 nonfiction audiobooks in the United States for the last week. I was notified this morning that The Echo Machine is in the top 10 audiobooks in the country for nonfiction books, thanks to you. We don't yet have other numbers waiting on them, but I appreciate you so much. Nearly 500 of you have already reviewed the book on Amazon. I really appreciate that. I want to say one other thing. One of the things that other creators and I have been talking about is the unfortunate reality that if any platforms shut us down, we have no way of reaching our audience. What do I mean by that? Our 3.06 million followers on YouTube. If YouTube bows to pressure from MAGA and shuts us down, we have no way to reach those 3 million people. If TikTok shuts us down, we have no way to reach the 1 million followers we have on TikTok. And so one of the things we want to do is, given the fears and speculation about what this administration might try, we need a way to directly contact you. And the only way that that exists right now is my newsletter. Okay. So I'm asking you, the only way I will be able to get in touch with you if anything gets shut down is our newsletter. Please make sure you are on my newsletter. You can find it at davidpakman.substack.com, or you can sign up for it on my website, or you can just email info@davidpakman.com and say, put me on the newsletter. You might say, well, what if Substack shuts you down? We own the data. That's the critical difference. With Substack, we have that list, and it's the fail-safe that we are all trying to build here. Okay, so please make sure you are getting that newsletter. Let's take a break. We're going to talk GDP. We're going to talk deportations. Major show today. Glad you're here. Did you know that 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February? Lumen is something you can do for your health that's easy to stick to. Our sponsor, Lumen, is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. With a single breath first thing in the morning, Lumen measures your metabolism. It tells you, are you burning fat or are you burning carbs? And it'll give you tailored guidance for nutrition, workouts, sleep, and stress management. No more cookie cutter, one-size-fits-all nutrition plans. Lumen lets you know what is happening in your body in real time and will build a personalized health plan based on that data. Lumen gives you daily macro recommendations based on what's happening with your metabolism, so you can really fuel your body with what's best. Right before a workout, breathe into Lumen and it'll tell you if you're burning carbs or fat. Lumen will tell you if you need to carb up before a workout for an energy boost or if you're good to go. Get 15% off your Lumen by going to lumen.me/Pacman. The link is in the description.